Welcome back. You're still watching Business Morning, the midweek edition of the program on Channels Television, and we're broadcasting live from Lagos, Nigeria. And the program today, our conversation is around the customs destination inspection regime, and we're actually looking at a report put out by the organized private sector, the Lagos Chamber of Commerce and Industry, on a pre-arrival assessment report. And just before we went on that quick break, I told you I'll be joined on the program by the Public Relations Officer of the Nigeria Customs Service, Wale Adeni. Thank you so much, Mr. Adeni, for joining us this morning.
Thank you very much. Good morning.
Now, if you've been listening to the conversation I've been having here with the Director General of the Lagos Chamber of Commerce and Industry, Mr. Muda Yusuf, you realize that he's listed a number of challenges that organized private sector seems to be facing owing to delays of clearing their cargoes from the ports. Now, according to what he says, the pre-arrival assessment report is a good plan that the Customs Service has actually come up with. It's actually an initiative of the Nigeria Customs Service. So if it's an initiative of the Nigeria Customs Service, why have the challenges still persisted?
Yeah, thank you very much for this opportunity. I was listening to the Director General, and I'm happy he identified these challenges as transitional issues. People that are familiar with the operations of the port know that this project... Hello?
I can hear you. Go ahead, Mr. Adeni.
Are you still with me?
Yes, I am.
Yeah, but this project is a very big project, and the transition of this magnitude must have some initial glitches. The good news is that we are actually prepared for these challenges. We knew that there are going to be some kind of bottlenecks. We knew that there are going to be many importers trying out the system to see whether they're going to get better service than they were getting from service providers. So we've made adequate preparations for this. And I'm happy that it made reference to the realistic option that we took of granting pre-release when we started. So the statistics that we have now indicate that every day, the daily number of PARs that we are issuing is increasing. As we speak, as of last week, we are now doing a daily PAR of 749. We started from just 23 when we started back then in November. So we appreciate the fact that these challenges will be there, but the number of the outcome that we are producing from the ruling center indicates that we are gradually grappling with the challenges, and we are improving steadily and surely.
So now, in terms of ensuring that customers get the best of services, has there been a help desk, for instance, where you can take your complaints to? And how many of these importers or exporters actually understand that this desk is there for them to actually go to get help?
Yeah, we started the implementation straight away with the setting up of those help desks you talked about. The help desks are operational. They are there in Abuja, and they are also in all the major ports and airport services. And we created access for people to get in touch with the help desk via telephone or by email, or some of them can visit them physically, as we have importers doing in the port. So the help desks are there, and what they are helping importers when they have situations, when they have complaints, when they have suggestions to make.
Now, let's look at some trade facilitation issues. A few years ago, there was a policy that cargoes would be cleared in 48 hours. Was that ever achieved? Now, with the prospects of achieving that, or what are the prospects actually of achieving that under this new system if we're having this teething problems or transitional problems, as you call it right now?
If we like I said earlier, if we compare the situation we had in January with what we had in December with what we have now, you will appreciate that there is remarkable improvement. The daily average when we started in December was less than 100, but now we have since increased to 749. In total, we have issued a total of 32,000 PARs. So this is an improvement, and I'm sure that with time, if this situation persists, we are going to be, doing 1,000, which is what we have as our target for, as a daily target in the first 6 months. And I'm sure before the fourth or the fifth month, we are going to hit this target. Now, coming to 48-hour clearance of goods, the way the power is structured, it is structured to actually achieve 48-hour clearance. But I'm happy that the DC and the DG LCCI also mentioned the fact that the port operations goes beyond just customs. Customs is just one part of a chain. The chain, every part of the chain would have to work in the same way, the same pace, the same efficiency, with the same kind of transparency, so that we can get an overall, more port-friendly environment for all our importers. If you can issue power within one working day, for example, then and your payment is done electronically, your release is done electronically, then we must be able to translate this progress into all the other sectors, into terminal operators, for example. The equipment to lift the container must not break down. The banks must be able to key into it so that when payment is done, it is cleared almost immediately. The transporters, we have to ensure that their trucks do not break down. So it's a total package. So customs is just one part of it, and we are doing our best to ensure that we realize the objectives of 48-hour clearance.
Well, Mr. Adeni, is there a reason why the power can only be gotten from Abuja? It's only issued at the customs headquarters in Abuja. Is there a reason why it's just in Abuja you can do that? Why can't you do it in Lagos as well, where we have the ports?
Of course, there's nothing that says we cannot do it in Lagos. No, I take your mind back to when the service providers were issued. We had 3 of them, and one based in Port Harcourt, 2 of them based in Lagos. Now, we now have only one service provider, and this is the customs doing its job. The entire process is automated. This is the difference between what we are doing and what the service providers are doing. You start the process from the bank. Your bank can be located anywhere in the country. You take your documents there, they upload them, and they send them to customs electronically. So if the entire process is, internet-driven, then we could as well start to operate. We could issue this from anywhere in the country, anywhere in the world, actually. The basic point is that we have a functional ruling center, and we have a backup in some other location to ensure that if the system fails, we can always rely on the backup. When the service providers were doing this pre-shipment, when they were doing it abroad, they were issuing these documents outside the shores of Nigeria. So if we have a central location that is secured, that is functional, I don't think there is any issue. But like you said, the help desks are there. They're all over the country. And we challenge importers to make use of this help desk, to go there and call them for their problems. And I can assure them they will get good service.
So, Mr. Adeni, isn't there going to be a problem now of over-centralization? I mean, if it's just in Abuja?
Now, we are all living witnesses to the kind of remarkable progress that we've made in automation in this country. For example, you can issue a check, you could do a transfer into somebody's account, you're in Abuja and somebody gets it anywhere in the country, and it comes, within seconds. These are the kind of, progress that we have made, because the entire process that we're running in customs now is paperless. So it makes no difference whether we are operating it from Lagos, from Abuja, or from anywhere. The most important thing is that documents are being uploaded, and the statistics of the documents that we have, it also shows that more and more of our dealer banks are getting to understand how the system works. And so there's improvement in the number of documents they are uploading to our systems and the number of final documents that goes on to issue the power. So I don't think it's any issue that we are in Abuja, because the entire system is automated. And that's what we are driving towards, to ensure that the entire process becomes automated, to reduce the person-to-person contacts, which will help us build transparency and integrity in the system, and to help us improve the ranking that the DG talked about. Nobody is happy, how we are ranked presently in the World Bank Doing Business Index. So these are the little things that will help us, as we move much forward in rendering modern customs service to our importers.
Well, this is very heavily IT dependent. So does the Nigerian Customs Service have enough skill, manpower development, of course, in terms of IT development and IT infrastructure to actually continue or to drive this, this initiative?
Well, I would say we have the prerequisite IT, the capacity. We have over 5,000 young Nigerian graduates with IT backgrounds who are running and driving the system in the ruling center and in all the ports that we have. So in terms of capacity, it's good news because we have the right people, the right training that can do it. The officers are well motivated. They have good welfare programs, and we have them in good numbers. We're running 3 shifts, every day from January. We used to run just 1 shift before. So now we have, at any given point in time, 24/7, 350 officers working in the ruling center in Abuja. So we have them in good numbers, and they are well trained, they are well motivated. There's one more thing about the PAR. Since we started on the 2nd of December, it has never broken down once. The story we have is that the numbers of PAR that we're churning out has been increasing on a daily basis. The target I told you, the daily target we have is 1,000, and by the 4th month, we're already on course. We're now doing about 750, and I'm very sure in the next 2-3 weeks we are going to hit 1,000. So the more power we generate, we expect that the less the pressure will be on the importers who rely on power to clear their goods. And just one final word about this. PAR is a pre-assessment regime. It is done before the arrival of the goods. So we would just like to encourage our importers to begin the process of their...
We'll be vetting it. We have instances where after you have loaded your cargo, at the gate you meet some customs people there. Whereas all the officers authorized to release cargo have released the cargo. And you get to the gate, you meet some people there. That is an anomaly. Then even outside the port premises, we have instances of some of the men of the Federal Operations Unit who stand on the road. Why do you query a cargo that has been released by statutory authorities in the port, and you stand on the road and you are stopping the container? It's happening. It happens on Lagos roads. It happens even in other states. All these things are not good for business. They impose a lot of stress on entrepreneurs and on investors. And the customs has a duty to mitigate and remove all these bottlenecks.
So what can we, going forward now, what can we be doing, or what should the Nigeria Customs Service be doing?
Well, what they should do, in my view, they should assess their capacity to deal with this issue. If they need to partner with professionals, if they need to partner with other private sector IT agencies, they should do so that they can improve the efficiency of the system. And they should also ensure that some of these agencies that are also constituting problems within the ports, the CIU, the Federal Operations Unit that stand on the road after containers have been releasing, all these bottlenecks should be removed. Because these things are important. Otherwise, you find a situation where you make investment environment more difficult for investors. And how do you create jobs if those who are to create the jobs are not finding it easy? So these are the things I think the customs should do, and they should do it quickly. And they should reintroduce the pre-release to decongest the current system.
Well, thank you so much, Mr. Muda Yusuf, Director General, Lagos Chamber of Commerce and Industry, for joining us this morning on the program.
It's a pleasure.
Well, I've been speaking on customs destination inspection regime, and this morning we've been looking at the pre-arrival assessment regime, which the organized private sector has not been particularly comfortable with, and what we're hoping that this will be addressed. And I also spoke with the public relations officer of the Nigeria Customs Service, Wale Adeni, who says, just like the Director General of the LCCI said as well, that it's a transitional phase and it should see some sort of positivity very soon. Well, that's Business Morning for today. Thank you so much for watching. I'm Harriet Agbenyi.